right, y'all. Welcome to the Cowboys History Blog. Yesterday, I put my foot in it. I put my foot in my mouth with that video about trading Dak for Deshaun Watson. That didn't go over too well with a lot of people. And I can see it. I can dig it, you know. Dak is one of us. He's a cowboy. He is a cowboy. And I think that's one of the highest compliments I can give a Dallas Cowboy. But I'm thinking in practical terms of if we want to go higher and if we want to truly become dominant, has Dak met his limit? Has he met his peak? And I'm wondering if the answer is yes. Now, I still believe he's a top 10 quarterback. Don't get it twisted. He is an NFL quarterback, and he is a playoff NFL quarterback. But my question is, with the talent that the Cowboys have amassed, this is Super Bowl talent. Is he a Super Bowl quarterback? That's the question I ask. And it's a hard question. Again, like I said in the video yesterday, I'm a Dak truther. I'm down for Dak. But I just wonder if he has peaked. If his level of play will get any better than what it is, which is pretty damn good. But again, we're not trying to be playoff bound. We're not necessarily just want to win the NFC East. We want to start going to Super Bowls and winning Super Bowls. Dak has a lot of need for players around him. Dak need complementary players. But it's difficult to get complementary players on this team after free agency, after we lose our players from free agency. If Dak is taking up all of the salary cap. And I'm sorry, but Dak is taking up all of the salary cap. He's taking up $40 million of the salary cap. The next closest players are DeMarcus Lawrence and Amari Cooper at roughly $20 million each. Double them. Most of the players on this team are making under $5 million. So Dak is making 8 times what most of the players on this team is making. So that, I'm sorry, that by default, that means that Dak is largely responsible for what happens. That comes with the territory of taking up so much of the salary cap. And Dak is not the only quarterback in the NFL. There's a lot of quarterbacks that's making up to $35, $40 million now. And they're in the same situation. If you're making that much more than everyone else, and you're eating up the salary cap, then the brunt of the responsibility is going to go on your shoulders. Be it fair, be it not fair. You're going to have to start snatching some people up by the collars then, Dak. Say, hey, man, you need to play some ball, play some better ball. Or you have to try to get over the fact that you may not have the talent You know, because of the salary cap issue, you're not going to be able to get free agents out of the free agent pool. Can't afford them. The only thing the Cowboys can do is try to draft and develop players, and hopefully they get players like Michael Parsons who come into the league being a star. But that's rare. It takes players 2 or 3 years to get acclimated to the NFL game. So yeah, I've gotten some pushback, I've gotten some feedback, and it wasn't all good. No, how dare I pick on Dak? But I'm not picking on Dak. I'm not picking on Dak at all. I'm just talking reality. You know, that's all it is. It's, you know, you're taking up all the if you're taking up all the oxygen in the room, then you're responsible for everything. And that's what happens, man. You know, bro. I want to be proven wrong by you, Dak. I want Dak Prescott to prove me wrong. I would like to be here this time next year saying, you know what? I was 100% wrong. I've been wrong before. There's nothing unusual for me to be wrong, incorrect. I've been there before. If I'm any kind of a man with accountability, I'll admit that. And I've been wrong a whole bunch of times. I can't count how many times I've been wrong. And sometimes you want to be wrong. And this is one of those times I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want somebody to say, man, you're wrong, and wrong on your face. I want that. I want to be egregiously wrong. That's what I want to be. So, but right now, I think it just makes total sense. And I think Deshaun Watson, even though he may have worse character issues, and he does, but when he comes on a football field, I think he has a greater upside. I think he can make throws that Dak can't make. I think he can go off schedule that Dak can't go off schedule. Off schedule meaning if the play break down, can you continue to run the play and be successful? I don't know if Dak can do that anymore. And I think Dak is showing me that as he get older, he's going to become less and less mobile. Where Deshaun Watson, I think he's going to be a mobile quarterback for a while. So the upside is just higher with Deshaun Watson. And if we can just get by the personal issues and the character issues, then we'll be okay. But, you know, Jerry Jones never let that stop him. Character issues. Jerry Jones never let that stop him. And I think it makes sense for Jerry Jones. Someone said to me on Facebook, Jerry Jones wouldn't do that. He would have paid all that money to Deshaun Watson. Well, to Dak Prescott. Well, that's not a problem because he's going to pay the same amount of money to Deshaun Watson. Money is not even an issue in this subject because they make the same money. They both make $40 million a season. So, if it's anything that doesn't fit the equation, it's money. Character, okay, yeah. I can see that being a problem. Deshaun screwed up greatly with his character stuff this past year. Okay? But overall, it makes sense for both teams. Okay, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm calling the Houston Texans. I'm saying, Cal McNair, I give you Dak Prescott in a first rounder for Deshaun Watson. You're not going to play Deshaun Watson anyway. Deshaun Watson is no longer going to be a Texan. You can take a bunch of draft picks, try to get you a quarterback, but it's not guaranteed that you're going to get a decent quarterback in the draft. It's not easy getting a good quarterback in the draft. You can have 3 or 4 draft picks in the first round, and you still won't get that quarterback that's going to be franchised, that's going to lead the way for you. But in Dak, you get a quarterback that's already ranked in the top 10 of the NFL quarterbacks, the top third of the league. He's still young. He's a playoff caliber quarterback. And you get a first rounder. That's the argument I'm making to Cal McNair if I'm Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is going to look at the upside of Deshaun Watson. Besides these character issues with the massages, he never really had any other problems. And we all know Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones think he can fix anybody. Just give him another chance to fix someone else. This is another reclamation project for Jerry Jones. It makes total sense. To a lot of people, I have witnessed so far, it doesn't make any sense. But think about it. It makes sense. The same thing applies to Russell Wilson. Okay? Money's the same. Russell Wilson doesn't have any character issues. Russell Wilson, the con for the Cowboys possibly getting Russell Wilson is that Russell Wilson is getting older. But if we look at what Aaron Rodgers is doing and what Tom Brady is doing, I can see Russell Wilson playing another 6-7 years easily. And Russell Wilson is a quarterback that could get you to that next level. A level that I don't think Dak can get you. But at the same time, you can make the same argument to Seattle that you're making to the Houston Texans. Look, guy, Russell Wilson want to leave. And you guys look like you want him to leave. And you might be wanting to do a rebuild. You can get a quarterback in the draft, but that's not guaranteed. I can give you this young quarterback that got another 10 years on his career and see what you guys can do with him. Makes sense. It makes total sense. And yes, I can see that with Green Bay if the Cowboys want to pursue Aaron Rodgers. But again, the negative side to that is do you want a quarterback of that age? But again, I ask, what could have Aaron Rodgers done with this offense? What could he have done with CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and Cedric Wilson, and Dalton Schultz at tight end? What could have Aaron Rodgers done? What could have what could have happened if Russell Wilson was in this offense? Can you see that? How far you think the Cowboys would have gone? Deshaun Watson, even though he did not play this year, can you see him in this offense? All of these guys can overcome bad offensive coordinators like our offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, was. They can overcome that. Russell Wilson played years without a decent offensive line. So did Deshaun Watson. And Aaron Rodgers never had a full complement of arsenal. If he didn't have running backs, he only had one receiver. Or if he had receivers, he didn't have a running game. And there were a season or two when he had bad offensive line play. So I think Dak needs complementary football a lot more than these guys I just mentioned. And maybe that's why Dak is always talking about complementary football. I think when Dak mentions complementary football, I think he's saying, I can't win it by myself. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he's saying. But Dak, your salary and you're taking up all the salary cap room suggests that, yeah, you need to start taking it over by yourself, because that suggests that you the man. And forget complimentary, you need to take it over. But then again, prove me wrong, Dak. Prove me wrong, brother. Peace.